Hello, I'm Dr. Stuart McCauley, and this is a program on the subject of stress, how to recognize it, what it does to the body, and some of the techniques that you can use to reduce the effects of stress. Late for work and trying to catch a train, walking down a dark street, waiting for an important job interview, or getting up to present a speech, or making an important sales call. We all know the feeling. Your heart is pounding, your mouth dries up, your palms are cold and clammy, your forehead perspires, your muscles tense. You can almost feel your blood pressure rising.
I don't have a lot of time, Mr. Lohman. What do you have to show me?
Okay, this hormonal state of arousal is an evolutionary holdover, thousands of years old, more appropriate for defending oneself from physical attack than from a verbal one. Appropriately called the fight or flight response, the brain triggers this response to any stress, whether real or imaginary. If we still defended ourselves with swords, the fight or flight response would do us some good. Fortunately, we don't. But the trouble is, the body responds in exactly the same way to an imagined threat as it does to a real one.
Miss Keating, I need to see you in my office right away. And bring those reports you promised me last week.
While our bosses present no real physical danger, our bodies react as if we were under attack and respond with a flood of changes, including increased blood clotting ability, increased heart rate, your digestion stops, your pupils dilate, your blood pressure rises, just to name a few of the many changes that occur during the fight or flight response. An isolated stressful event presents no real danger to the body. The body simply resets itself. But when an acute stress recurs over and over again, that is, when an acute stress becomes a chronic stress, then the body is unable to reset itself. A tightened muscle doesn't relax. A constricted capillary doesn't dilate back to normal, thus raising the blood pressure. A beating heart might establish a slightly higher normal rate. These changes happen so subtly that we don't even notice them. We become so accustomed to tension and tightness that it begins to feel normal. Indeed, stress may be the most significant cause of illness in this country today. Some doctors estimate as much as 80% of all illness is stress-related. These illnesses include asthma, back pain, headaches, ulcers, colitis, heart disease, hypertension, and possibly even cancer. Often, though, we have only a vague notion of what events are stressful, and when some stress is too much stress. The Social Readjustment Rating Scale, developed by Drs. Thomas Holmes and Richard Ra over 20 years ago, addresses this problem. The system rates many of life's most stressful events on a scale from 1 to 100. From interviews with hundreds of people, they found the death of a spouse to be the most stressful event in a person's life. They rated this event 100 and scored other stresses by the frequency they were mentioned in interviews. Surprisingly, such ostensibly happy events as getting married and buying a new home were often cited. Adding up your total score can give you a good perspective on the amount of stress you are under. The doctors found that the stress rating scale proved to be an excellent barometer for determining a person's future health. By tallying the cumulative scores in one particular study, they discovered that over 79% of those who scored 300 or more fell seriously ill within the following year. Luckily, much research is being done to study ways in which we can counteract the effects of stress.
What I'm doing is I'm monitoring his muscular activity in a particular scalp muscle. And when the line goes up, the scalp is tighter, and when the line goes down, the scalp is more relaxed. And what I'm trying to get him to do is to relax that area.
Dr. Steve Baskin of the New England Institute for Behavioral Medicine uses biofeedback to teach people how to control tension.
Biofeedback is enabling someone to get information on the status of their nervous system that they're not normally aware of. So here, he can't really tell how much muscle tension he has in his scalp unless he has severe pain. So what he's trying to do is to get that information that he's not normally aware of, and to attempt to make a change in his nervous system functioning. See a lot of people with chronic head pain, neck pain, back pain, See people with migraine headaches. You can help people regulate certain vascular responses and high blood pressure. Most of these disorders are disorders of homeostasis, that their system is out of regulation. And with the feedback, you're showing them how it's out of regulation, and they're attempting to change it back into a self-regulatory mode.
Biofeedback is just one example of the research that's being done to understand how to manage stress. Another example is the study of brain waves. While we are active, the brain emits waves from between 14 and 32 cycles per second, which are called beta waves.
Hello? Oh, hi.
The amount of stress we're under seems to have a direct correlation to the frequency of the brain waves. The busier we are, the higher the frequency. On the other hand, the more relaxed you become, the slower the frequency of your brain waves. 13 cycles per second or lower are called alpha waves. People in meditation typically produce the alpha brainwave rhythm. Learning how to meditate is an effective weapon against stress. To begin, select any word or short phrase which you will repeat to prevent distracting thoughts from entering your mind. Hindus call this word a mantra, and behavioral psychologists call it an autogenic phrase. You can repeat any word like calm or peace, or a phrase like I am feeling more and more relaxed, or a short prayer. Some people prefer to keep their eyes open and meditate on the flame of a candle, or focus their attention on the sound of crickets or water by a stream. Any technique which helps you focus your mind is a perfectly acceptable means of meditation. Find a comfortable, quiet place where you won't be disturbed for at least 15 minutes. Close the door, take the phone off the hook, and have a clock within plain sight so you see it easily without turning your head. You don't need to sit cross-legged in a lotus position, but it's best to sit upright. When you begin meditation, you'll find it surprisingly difficult to stop the mind chatter. What am I doing here? My foot itches. I wonder what I'm going to have for lunch. Don't be discouraged. This is typical. The key to overcoming this difficulty is to maintain a passive attitude. When your mind wanders, as it almost always does, bring your attention back to the word or phrase you have chosen to meditate on. You may not feel a thing the first time you meditate, but try to persevere. If you practice this for 10 to 15 minutes once or twice a day, you'll find it gets easier and easier. Studies have shown that the benefits of regular meditation include lower blood pressure, heart rate, and cholesterol, not to mention a general state of ease which sets meditators apart from other people. They often report that this state of mind carries over into their work, making them better able to concentrate and consequently more efficient. Unfortunately, success in meditation does not come as the result of trying too hard. This is a passive exercise. You must simply sit there and let it happen. But if you are one of those people who has tried meditation with little or no success, you are not alone. Others have had this problem too. However, there are many other excellent relaxation techniques to choose from. When choosing a particular technique, it's very important to tailor your stress reduction program to your own needs and your own style. Some people prefer to occupy their minds, while others prefer to occupy their bodies. Conscious breathing requires the coordination of mind and body and is an easy way to reduce stress. You can do it almost anywhere, waiting at a light or in a grocery checkout line. A baby breathes naturally with its diaphragm. If you watch carefully, you can see the baby's stomach rising and falling with each breath. Adults, on the other hand, tend to take shallow breaths, but you can learn to breathe deeply by placing one hand on your abdomen just above your waist. As you slowly take a full, deep breath in, feel the hand rise. Then, as you let all of the air out, feel the hand fall. You can improve on this by taking a slow breath in as you silently count to 5. Then hold the breath for another silent count of 5, and then let all of the air out to the same count. You'll find that this slow, rhythmic breathing exercise is a simple yet effective way to calm your mind and reduce the tension in your body.